My grandpa was probably the most generous, loving, yet simple man I've ever known. Unfortunately, about a month ago, my grandpa, Tom DiSilva, passed away. My grandpa and I have had a very special relationship since I was a kid, so this really affected me. If you ever had a grandparent pass away, I'm sure you recognize the grief I initially felt, but I'm sure you also recognize that your grandparent would have wanted you to celebrate their life more than mourn their death. My grandpa has had a serious impact on my life and who I am today. Just a few examples of this are an impact on my work ethic, an impact on my generosity, and most significantly, an impact on the value I have on family. My grandfather's work ethic might be the most significant thing, and maybe the first thing people would notice if they weren't related to him. And his work ethic is something that he adopted from his father, who not only started our family trucking company during the Depression, but also worked until the day he died. Early to bed, early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise. This is a quote from Ben Franklin, but it's something that my grandfather has always said to me, and it's stuck with me ever since I was a little kid. This quote has less to do with my bedtime and more to do with responsibility and getting my work done. This is something that he stressed to my dad, who also stressed to me. Work ethics went beyond getting good grades, however. My grandfather, through his actions, demonstrated that you need to put in the work to becoming a better person. His demonstration of work ethic is something that didn't only affect me, but also the rest of my family as well. My grandfather's generosity is the most obvious characteristic about him. Everyone in my family has experienced his generosity firsthand, but not only members of my family, also his employees, friends, and probably every bartender, waiter, and waitress that has ever waited on me. His generosity goes beyond anything tangible, however. He was also generous in the time he spent with the family and the advice he gave as well. His generosity is something that stems from putting his family first. The reason I value family above all is because of my grandpa. Whenever there's a special occasion, my family always gets together. And our most memorable family gatherings are when we are all at our family beach house in Wellsman, which was my grandfather's favorite spot. He could go anywhere in the world, but you can tell by the ear-to-ear grin on his face that he'd rather be surrounded by his family. Probably the most significant family gathering that we have is Christmas Eve. And on Christmas Eve, it's a tradition that we play bingo. And looking back on it, I think the real reason that we played bingo wasn't because of the game itself, but it was more about the togetherness of family. Bingo is probably the best way to encapsulate the characteristics my grandfather had. He was generous in giving out the bingo winnings. He showed his work ethic of keeping everyone together and awake during this time, which was typically around 11 p.m. And obviously, he showed his value of family. Loving every minute of being together, enjoying the game. My generosity, work ethic, and value of family, above all else, are things that I wouldn't have adopted if it weren't for my grandfather. Ironically, the last time I saw my grandfather was this past Christmas Eve after a great night of bingo, which probably would have been the last memory